Chris? Okay, great. Are you all tuned? You're all set, or you can take a second.
much of the power of the sound comes from the middle of the body. So just kind of, even though it's forte, just float up top. Can we try it right there from that second ending? Still use a little bit more second violin. It often feels to me in passages like this, like I'm playing secret first violin. Like when I have to really project the bottom octave, it feels very strange. So really dig in.
And I wonder if not just articulation, but in spirit and in character, in the viola and cello here, it can be much more competitive with the two violins. Like you're sort of, you have to steal the spotlight on a little bit more of that. Like you have 2 bars of pure solo, and then they have to do it. And then you want your turn again, right? So you interrupt.
Same spot, second ending.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, so it's Mr. Haydn all over again. So I think that part of it is actually the sort of theater of like total freezing, right up into that edge, and then pianissimo one at a time. It should be like, again, very sort of just very concise. It's much harder in a pianissimo dynamic to get the little notes to really speak, and I lose them a little bit when we drop in dynamic here. So maybe we do from the second end one more time. Violoncello, I would say that was like 80% of what we're looking for like taking over the spotlight there.
I heard amazing harmonies this time that weren't ringing through before because it just wasn't enough. That's awesome. Keep pumping it out.
second theme here. I wonder if it could be much more cadenza-esque. It's just you for these 6 bars of you're like, where are your favorite notes in that whole little passage, right? I think you can sort of throw off the shackles of the like, strict pulse there and really sort of have a first violin diva moment in the middle at both times. You know, so like I think both in shaping and sound and timing, you can really have a lot of fun with that little duet. And then now here, are you trying to go faster in this section?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I wonder if, like we were talking about with the Schubert, if you want to move the tempo, that's fine, but could it be faster but not rush? Because again, if it's on the front of the beat, I think it loses some of the potential drama. So I think you sabotage the feeling of these dotted figures of feeling crisp if it feels like it's stumbling forward. So be very careful. If you want it to be fast, that's fine, but don't rush.
And right, so you're double dotting it, which is fine, but so then you have that much more space between the 8th note and the 32nd. So yeah, there needs to be more space there. Otherwise, it's falling.
Maybe you try. You do 4 before Alison's little cadenza there. You guys know where that is? I'm sorry, I don't have a letter there.
9 before B? Or how about right on the piano?
Yeah.
Cadenza was great.
Go for it, that's beautiful. And I would say that was the bare minimum that you are allowed to do. I would even, encourage you to like try go over this. Have someone have you be like, that was a little much. And then back off and say, okay, because I think that there's still that's better. I wonder if, again, thinking of matching articulations. In this piece, you have points where you're all doing something very different. But then when you have these moments where you all have one exact type of articulation or rhythm together, like in the opening material or here, if you can match the snap and the crispness on those little notes. If you can imagine there's a tiny accent on the 16th note or your double dotted tones, you get a little extra kick, so really stop a little. Like you have to feel that first finger grab the string every single little 16th note.
That and the other thing that'll help give this theme some girth would be I want to hear where the repetition in the phrase is. So after B you have or you think about it as a pickup, right? The cadenza is like a pickup to this, and then you have to have a little bit of like there, and then we're going to repeat it. There's blurring into one.
We do your cadenza one more time?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
little mouse coming around at night. What is that forte? Something dramatic happens right there. You think you have an idea? What happens to that mouse at that forte? Just go with it.
Oh. Yeah, I like that.
We had a big sweeping crescendo up, and text panning. Alison's part is going up, like we got a swooping into the sky moment. Perfect. All right, let's start at B. Creeping around, tiny little mouse feet. Dramatic owl moment.
I think the owl is getting dangerously close to catching our mouth, right? But before we just have these, it's major before. But here you have very dissonant harmonies, and there's a lot of tension in the harmony. And so I think that we need much more sort of power in those inner voices. Alison's plenty high. You will hear her no matter what. Also in the cello, right? You have to fill out the whole bass there, because everybody else is much higher than you. So, and again, going back to this idea of clarity and commitment to articulations, I need much more of those little ups for especially in the forte dynamics. Otherwise, it feels a little bit soggy.
And Jessica, now you're playing the role that Leila was playing earlier. So you're playing secret first violin because you have a low octave, so you fill out her sound.
Maybe, can you do, how about the pianissimo bar before the sextuplets? You guys, or is there a letter nearby there?
C is the forte.
Okay, let's do C. C, great. You're sort of blocking bass line there. And it's always, take at least a dynamic vowel for any pizzicato ever in quartet as a cellist, or I would dare say for any voice. But
And just another second violin thing. 9 before that fermata, where you have the forte da ba da da bum ba. Should you try first position or half position? I think something E stringy, because otherwise that it just gets kind of.
can we try right there and go to the fermata one last time, or what was it? Letter C? Was that right?
Halfway between C and D.
Well, let's do C to the fermata just to close out and sort of cap all those things.
Nice.